Hello, thank you so much for joining us on this Labor Day. I'm Sister Cecilia Joy, a Franciscan sister Christian charity, and today we're here with Michael Loonan, who is a very famous American singer, songwriter, recording artist. He's from Minnesota, so right here in the Midwest, and he's written music for corporate events and even a few TV jingles, and he even, just this past month, he had a lyric video for his song, Celebrate This Life. So welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much, sister. It's great to be here.
Yes, for sure. So how did you become a musician?
You know, I'm the youngest of six kids, and all of us took piano lessons. And when when it was my turn, so many of my siblings had quit, prematurely. They just gave it up, and my mom said, "You're going to stick with it, period." I think, and I'm glad she did. So that I took lessons for about 6 years, and so that gave me kind of a foundation of some theory and whatnot. So I took piano lessons at Nativity, and that's really, I guess, how it started as far as formal training goes, was the piano lessons early.
So how did you branch off into guitar?
It's funny. When I was in ninth grade, all of a sudden it wasn't deemed as cool, at least in my little circle of boyfriends, to be playing the piano. So I picked up the guitar. And what I found was that the guitar was actually, it was pretty easy for me to learn with the foundation I had learned from the piano. So then I picked up the guitar, but then I very quickly came back to the piano. I realized, this is where I can do so much more coloring with chords and, just different idioms and whatnot. So by the time I was in high school, I was pretty much playing both guitar and piano together, same amount.
Wonderful. Yeah. And who are some of your musical influences? Like, who do you aspire to be like?
Well, when I was literally 3 years old, I have four sisters, and one of them was they were all pretty much playing Beatles music, but I just remember hearing the harmonies of, John and Paul, just very distinct voices, but just beautifully together. That really resonated with me. So I think at a young age, I was sort of drawn into harmony. We also had Simon and Garfunkel playing in the house. My brother is a songwriter, so he's a acoustic guitar. He was more a little Bob Dylan, kind of telling stories with his songs. So so all of that was sort of an influence, I think. But I'd have to say the Beatles ultimately, just for all of the different styles and melodies that I gleaned from their from their music early on.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And so the song that we're kind of focusing on today of yours is Celebrate This Life, which is a really great song, and it really plays in well with our water series. So can you talk a little bit about what inspired you to write this song?
Sure. It was on my honeymoon in the year 2000. My wife and I were down in Destin, Florida, beautiful, kind of the Gulf side where the sand was white. And I just, stepping foot on that shore and hearing the waves, and it just sort of made me feel like problems were just sort of melting away, literally and metaphorically too. And so when we got back to Minnesota, I picked up the guitar, and my mind was still there, so that's where I came up with let's find a beach near golden sand and slip this sorrow from our hand, because I thought it was kind of a nice metaphor for, relaxing by the beach, but really just letting the heavy things kind of wash away. Even if temporarily, just to sort of get them off our shoulders. So that was sort of what inspired the song, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned some of the lyrics. Are there any other lyrics that people should pay attention to when they hear the song?
Well, the verses the verses are sort of dark, if you will, and then the chorus is sort of this, much more upbeat. So when you do listen in the verses, you'll hear, our heads are full of worries, problems on our shoulders. And then the second verse talks about it's gray along the oceans where blue sky was, everywhere an empty horizon. But then when it gets to the chorus, it talks about, again, let's spread our peace around this town, gather all the people around, let's celebrate this life. Mm-hmm. So that's, I guess, one thing to listen to is sort of the kind of a tentative or maybe cautious verse with this exuberant chorus, mm-hmm. kind of the way those work off each other.
And it is really cool because when I hear it, I can imagine myself walking on a beach somewhere and just letting the worries all go away. And
good. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So and you are Catholic. So how does your Catholic faith influence your music?
You know, it does be. Well, I play up at Nativity Church, so we've got a wonderful group there. Spiritu is our name of our group, and we've been playing together. I think I've been playing about 25 years there.
Wow.
So just a wonderful parish. I mean, that's a real blessing to be able to, not only provide music, but sort of, lead people, if you will, in music. It's a wonderful parish. So so that certainly plays into how the Catholic faith works with me. Um, Thinking a little bit more about it, I always think about the yet let ye without sin cast the first stone. I mean, there's something that's very what's the word? It's just kind of it's a very freeing element for me to be Catholic. I guess in that I'm greatly imperfect. Perfect
Yeah.
way to say it. As we all are, and so and the world is, at times it's so imperfect. I mean, just looking at the headlines, and there's a lot of things to be concerned about when I look outside and when I look inside. But I just there's sort of this burning light of being a Catholic that I think is it's just so safe and wonderful to keep coming back to.
Mhm.
Um, the eternal flame. I mean, just sort of having this
Yeah, just
this
the fact that we're all sinners, but God loves us all. And
that's yes, exactly that.
yeah. So where can people now? I will post your YouTube lyric video in our post, so that way then people
Oh,
can
thank you.
get to it right away. But is there anywhere else that people can access your music? Because I'm sure you've written a lot more, correct?
I do. Yes, I've got quite a few original songs, and there's actually some more that I'll be releasing very soon. So you can, if you look up my name, Michael Loonan, I'm on Spotify and Apple Music, and got the YouTube channel. So those are great places, and certainly encourage people to follow me on all the other, Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and everything. It's just a big, lot of good gathering places to share music. So
Wonderful. Well,
yeah.
thank you for being with us, Michael. It's been really great to talk with you.
Thank you so much, sister. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you.
Yes. And thank you everyone for listening. And hopefully you'll check out some of Michael's music and be inspired. And hopefully if you're near a beach, visit a beach, because it's perfect to listen to the song and visit a beach and just kind of connect the dots. So thank you so much, everyone, and God bless.